credit card?
Yes.
How many credit cards do you have?
Maybe 4.
2?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. Okay, so why do you see a need in owning so many credit cards?
I would say different offers.
What do you use your credit card for?
For daily expenses, telephone bill, TV bill.
Sports equipment.
Online payment.
Do you know what a credit report is?
Meaning?
Do you know what is a credit report?
Not really.
Not really.
I would imagine it to be a consolidated summary
That's
of
right.
your transactions.
Do you know what a credit line is? Nope. Do you know what a credit line is?
I have no idea actually.
Credit line. I think it's a facility from the bank where they provide credit to the customers. Where I can withdraw cash.
You mean the
Credit line.
cap?
Do you know the difference between a credit card and a debit card?
Not really.
The debit one is when you have money inside, then you use.
Okay, so it's tagged to your saving account. Okay, for credit card?
You use, then after the end of the month you pay.
Do you prefer to pay for your expenses by cash or credit card?
By cash actually.
Cash. Why?
Because anyway, it's credit and then you have to pay it back anyway.
I prefer nets.
Nets.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Why not credit cards then?
I guess I find it a hassle and it's harder to keep track of your spending when you use credit cards.
I think it's dangerous to depend on credit cards too much.
Of course. I mean,
Okay.
you abuse it, yeah.
Definitely.
Why?
Because you just spend and yeah, you don't realize that, you don't realize that your money is gone, yeah.
Some people might just spend it for this so-called future money.
That's right.
Yeah.
But for you, do you have such problem like the tendency?
Yeah.
How do you manage to curb, the urge to spend your future money?
I'm pretty stingy, so
Do you see a need to apply for credit cards, later when you are older? Okay, what's the benefit of paying by credit?
So you can spend more money.
You don't have to carry too much cash with us.
Okay, so it's cashless transaction.
Credit cards are a universal thing in the first place, so yeah, it's quite convenient.
Is it also kind of like some form of status symbol? Like when you own a credit card, you are definitely...
It's definitely a status symbol. The more you own, the maybe people see as richer.
Okay.
But it may not be true.
So we had our own mini test on the credit literacy level among credit card holders, and looks like people don't really know what a credit report is. So is it the kind of finding that you have found, in your survey?
Yeah, thank you. That was one of our key survey findings. 85% of the respondents we surveyed did not know what a credit report was. So that was interesting, and also we found out that 58% of parents have not spoken to their child about credit management, and that 80% of the youth surveyed wanted to find out more. So there was actually a strong interest amongst youth in this age to find out more about credit management.
Yeah. But I think it's important to know what a credit report is and to
Definitely.
request for a copy, right? Because it looks like a lot of people have more than one credit cards. So even if you were to get the separate statements from the different banks, it may be hard to keep track of your spending. Is that right? Okay, all right. So actually a lot of teenagers that I spoke to on the ground said, wow, it's cool to own a credit card because it's a form of status symbol. So do you feel the same as well? Like you look more, I think one of them said you seem more richer if you have the more cards. That's right.
I think, it's definitely seen as a status symbol. As in, having a credit card just looks a lot cooler than a debit card.
It's a perception thing.
Yeah,
Perception.
Yeah, and it's like a mindset that's been going on for so long.
Because basically what it illustrates that you're in control of your own finances. So it makes youth feel more mature as well, to actually be in control and know how to manage their finances. I think that's a key
being more
point.
independent and having that control over their money.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Hui-Min, you want to add anything to that? I mean, as in, do you see people who seek CCS for help? Like, do you think that they sort of got used to this luxury lifestyle with the credit cards, and then perhaps
some, yes,
they can't let
let's
go?
put it this way: for the younger ones, because most of us would have so-called, we used to get pocket money from parents, and maybe we work part-time, you know, but the income is you know, perhaps a few $100s. So when you start working formally, you know, especially if you have a good job that pays you well, suddenly you're very rich. You have a few $1,000s take home pay, you know, and then you qualify for credit cards. It kind of make you even richer, so-called, but it's not rich because it's the bank's money. Again, I mean, I always have to say that, you know, credit card, credit lines is the bank's money, but because you have access to that money, you know, you will feel like I have the money to spend. But the problem is that don't forget you still have to pay back. You know, that's the thing. And if I spend so much more than my income that I can service, then I'm going to get into trouble. And that's what we see. You know, that means they have too many cards. They have too many lines. Okay. And they just kind of max out everything. And then and of course, when you max out everything, you can't even afford to pay the minimum payment. You know, so and that's how they just apply for more to cover the existing one, and then they just become they just have more and more creditors and more debts. And it just come to a point of time that they cannot handle anymore.
Just out of curiosity, how many credit cards do you own?
I have with 3 banks.
Three banks.
Okay.
So you have 3 credit
I should have cut away one. I decided to cut away, you know what I mean? Let me see. Because one of it, I got it when I was, well, I started with 2. And then later on, the other one was tied up with a shopping center. It wasn't a credit card then. It was just only
privilege card.
Yes, but then later on you offer a credit card. They change it. Okay, I just take it. You know, but now I said, oh, how I wish I did not change it. You know, it's just related to that to that shopping center. And that will that'll be better.
That's right. I think it's just very hard to resist because the banks are so good in marketing their products, tailoring it. Like, you know, you have cards for ladies, you have cards for frequent travelers, and you think, oh, this suits me and I want it. So it's hard to resist that. Are there any complaints amongst your clients that they are not notified sufficiently about the terms and conditions of their cards? After they get
what I hear is more like this. Oh, they invited me, they sent it to me, but the point is, you can be invited, but you don't have to accept the invitation. You know, I mean, it's still us. You know, it's still us. The bank can send me a pre-approved card online or whatever, you know, but I don't take it up. You know, I mean, we receive calls. I receive calls. Hey, you've been selected. You have been invited. Yes. Sometimes I feel so tempted to say, okay, but the thing is that better not, you know, because once you have it, tendency is you're going to use it.
That's true.
You see? So for those of us, for those people who like me don't have much, you know, not very sure, then better don't have it at all. You know,
the bottom line, just say no.
Yes, you have to know yourself. You know, you have to know yourself. Okay, if you're not very sure that you can really control it very well, then perhaps don't have too many. You know, have 1 or 2 convenience. Yes, you know, you know, there's convenience, there's this and there's that. But why do we need more than 2? You know, or even 1. But of course, for those of us who are so-called a bit okay, just in case this card cannot be used because of the machine or whatever, then I have another one to back me up. But why more than 2? Why do you need more than 2 or 3? You know, you really don't. It's just that we want it.
And
when we want it,
that's the perks, right?
Yes, a lot of people say, oh, because they give this, they give that, and precisely they give so many special discount privileges.
Right.
That's why you spend, and that's how it gets. We spend more than what we can really afford to. You know, that's how we get into trouble. You see? So do you really need this thing or do you want it? Okay. Ask yourself.
It's always a difference between need and want.
Yes.
Okay. So do you think like finance literacy should be inculcated into part of our formal curriculum?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the age to start?
Well, of course, it's always good to start from young. You know, because well, let's put it this way. I think Singapore is also moving towards that financial literacy thing. I think MOE and I is looking into that. And in fact, for us CCS, we are also exploring with a potential partner, SIAS, you know, to look into, you know, promoting financial literacy to the universities and tertiary students, you know. But it's still, you know, We're still discussing it. But anyway, yes, since young, you can teach the little kids simple things. You know, you give them pocket money of 50 cents or whatever. You know, just teach them. You know, you want to use, you have to make sure that you don't spend more than 50 cents. Perhaps before you spend your 50 cents, perhaps you still put your 10 cents into a piggy bank. You know, and spend your 40 cents. You know, from there, then you build out and say, okay. I will say you have a card, you start using it, you manage your finances better, okay? You make sure that whatever it is, okay, know your limits, you know what you're spending on, you know. I mean, credit is something that can work both ways.
All right.
You know, most people can't buy a house without credit, right? You need to get a housing loan. But the thing is that, do you really need to buy that big a house? Because servicing it is another issue.
Okay.
All right. So these are things that we need to think first. Before we use it, we better think, what am I using it for? For a need or for a want? Okay? Now, even if it's for a need, do I really need that much? Or can I just go for something a little bit more simple? And then say, can I really service it? Okay? I mean, we have to think through before we make the commitments.
That's true. Yeah. And Melissa, would you have liked to have received some form of like credit literacy classes or education back in school?
Yeah, definitely. I think credit education is very crucial, especially at this point in time. So, I mean, that can be on that note. There can be a lot of attractive options, like the perks and privileges. But at the end of the day, it's the responsibility that we have to emphasize cardholders to take up. I mean, I think I remember a quote from a movie or something: "With great power comes great responsibility." Yes, Spider-Man. Yeah, that's right.
Spider-Man can be part of the credit literacy campaign.
Anything that we can actually relate to, we find that actually spreading these credit smart messages can be very effective if we actually relate to our peers and to students in this way.
Do you know of any one of your friends or people around your age who have kind of gotten themselves in a bit of credit trouble, like troubles managing their finances?
Again, like I mentioned just now, there was a case of late payments with the supplementary card.
Late payments. Not really to the extent of that.
Okay. But then there will be like the rollover interest and all, right? Okay, if they can't
pay
the
balance.
we believe that credit management should be a part of your lifestyle. So that's why we came up with the tips that were very lifestyle based, so they can inculcate that. Because if it's something that you will have to learn and go to school and learn it, it's going to be like educational. But if it's inculcated as part of your lifestyle, so it's something that you actually practice.
I mean, because I think at the end of the day, when we start working, we want to have options. We don't want to close options and say that, I'm going to run to debt, so therefore I cannot have any credit cards. I mean, options like, to apply for loans for a house or car. So it's not about running to debt. It's just on focusing on maintaining that discipline. And that's why we feel that, this credit education is crucial.
Okay, all right. So we are going for a short breather, and when we come back, we'll have more discussion on finance literacy.